Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us here for the News at 5. I'm Keisha Grant.
And I'm Mike Heideck. An investigation is underway into a heartbreaking case at an Apple Rehab in Cromwell, where police say a man killed his elderly wife and then took his own life early this afternoon.
We have live team coverage as authorities try to figure out how and why this happened. NBC Connecticut's Kyle Jones and Kevin Geis are at the scene. Kyle, you've been there all day in Cromwell. What have you learned?
Hey, Keisha. Yeah, so we've learned that this was an apparent murder-suicide between an 81-year-old victim who was here. Her name was Barbara Brandt, and an 82-year-old husband, and his name is Dennis. And this happened earlier today around 11 o'clock. And while there are plans here at Apple Rehab for situations like this, it's something that they never thought would happen. Connecticut State Police Major Crimes was on scene Friday afternoon at the Apple Rehab nursing home in Cromwell, investigating the death of 81-year-old Barbara Brandt, shot and killed by her husband, Dennis.
This is a nursing home that cares for 75 people that didn't necessarily have this type of risk factor.
Michael Landy of Apple Rehab says that it happened around 11 this morning. The husband walking into the front door for a visit. His wife among 75 residents there. She was in long-term care, a patient since 2021.
There's a front desk position where we do screening, and there's a notification of what you can or cannot bring in the nursing home, but this was not anticipated.
Staff followed an emergency plan to make sure that residents were safe.
Securing the scene internally before the police arrived did happen, and there was preparation that goes into that, and the staff did react in that way.
The shooting happened inside of Brandt's room, and her husband immediately took his own life afterward. She lived alone, and there were no other witnesses or injuries to staff or residents.
This was not anticipated. You know, obviously we're going to be investigating. The Cromwell Police Department will be investigating. Others will be, but this was just a completely unfortunate tragedy.
Yeah, just so unfortunate here and unbelievable in a lot of ways that the VP told us when he spoke to us earlier this afternoon. And he said that, you know, included in that plan is a plan to move all of the residents out of the immediate area, out of danger. And they said they did do that earlier today. But again, it's not something that they ever thought that they would have to put into place. Live in Cromwell, I'm Kyle Jones, NBC Connecticut News. Guys, back to you.
So sad, Kyle. Thank you.
And this evening, the commissioner of the Connecticut Department of Public Health is commenting on this tragedy. Dr. Manisha Jitani is saying that the department extends its sympathies to the victims, the families and staff. She also says the DPH will continue to monitor the quality of care and services provided at the center to ensure a safe environment. Our coverage continues now in Cromwell, where the impact of today's tragic turn of events is still being felt in the neighborhood, inside Apple Rehab, and at businesses nearby.
You can understand why. NBC Connecticut's Kevin Geis is on scene tonight. Kevin, what a scary day for people inside the facility and close by.
Oh, absolutely, Mike, Keisha. Good evening to you both. We heard a few stories from people who were inside of the facility at the time or who came to check on loved ones after. We actually spoke with a man who came down the hill. He spoke to me a few hours ago. At this point, his mom actually lives inside the facility. He says everyone he encountered was rightfully shaken up, but they are doing okay.
Very scary, nerve-wracking, because she called me crying.
Sade Baker's mom works inside the Cromwell Apple Rehab facility. She and other employees were working when they heard gunfire.
She said she saw the administration, like a few ladies running, and then she heard the gunshot, and then she started running. And she said that she locked herself in a bathroom, her and another employee.
A scary incident we now know is a murder-suicide. Cromwell police, alongside state police, investigating the incident. Apple Rehab staff have turned their attention to residents and their families.
We have counselors on site, so it's just psychosocial. It's just their well-being support.
Michael Landy, vice president of operations for Apple Rehab, says the facility is close with the Cromwell community and serves many locally in Cromwell and beyond. Communication has gone out to families and contacts of those inside the care facility.
They're doing a good job at managing traffic and controlling, and certainly access to family members. People are calling in on questions, and some people are on site, and they do have access to their loved one.
A neighboring daycare was also placed in lockdown for a short period of time.
It is very sad, because you're scared, you're shaking up, and then it's just like, at the moment, what do you do?
Baker says her mom is shaken, but okay, and she hopes everyone inside is well taken care of.
It's just too much. It's just too much for her. Nobody should have to experience this.
And Apple Rehab officials did also note that there are counselors on site to check on those who are inside the facility, residents and staff, making sure they're not just okay physically, but also emotionally. We're live in Cromwell tonight. Kevin Geis, NBC Connecticut News. Mike, back to you.
Kevin, thank you. And stay with NBC Connecticut for continuing coverage online and on the free NBC Connecticut app.